Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my new filming area. I am so excited to be in this area and I dedicated an entire video about how I created this. You guys will just have to wait till you see that video. Probably after this one, I will do the video on this whole transformation and where I'm filming. Today's video is all about eyebrows for a mature person. So, my goal when I'm doing my eyebrows is to do as naturally as possible, or have it look as natural as possible, I should say. When I first started doing my eyebrows, of course, I was used to looking at my eyebrows as they are here. These are my natural eyebrows. I have nothing on them. When you first start doing your eyebrows for the first time as a mature person, it is really, first of all, scary. I get it. And it's very hard to go from no eyebrows being done to a full eyebrow. So what I want to do is to show you guys a step-by-step process to ease into doing a full eyebrow. When I say a full eyebrow, I mean a natural looking full eyebrow for a mature person. Not that chiseled eyebrow that you see a 20-something-year-old doing, like on Instagram, where it's extremely sharp lines and very drawn in. And I do think those are gorgeous. I personally think that those aren't the best for a mature person, but that's my opinion. You guys can go ahead and do a full eyebrow like that. If that looks good on you, go for it by all means. So first of all, I'm going on the assumption that you have gotten your eyebrows groomed and trimmed. Let me get into the step-by-step process. What you want to do first is choose a color. You want to choose a color that is really close to your natural hair color. So there's different ways of putting eyebrows on. And so I'm going to show you some of them, but not all of them, because I'm just going to focus on what I do for my own. There is something called a pomade. And this is the Anastasia one, and it looks basically like this. It kind of has more like a clay-like consistency, and you would use a very thin brush to do this. I don't do this very much. Once in a great while I'll play. Most of the time I use a pencil, but this is a very good process of doing eyebrows. So you may want to try this out. I think it's advisable to try all different types. You don't have to go as expensive as Anastasia or Anastasia, I don't know. Because you want to figure out your type first of what you want to do. Then find the best product for your eyebrows or what your technique is. The other way would be a powder or it's almost like an eyeshadow. One of the ones is the Urban Decay. This is the Brow Box. Yeah, the Brow Box. It looks like this. There's two different shades, and then this is actually wax. The wax you use to basically hold your eyebrows in place afterwards. I do use this a lot, but I don't use it to actually draw in my eyebrows. I'll show you how I do that. The other way is to use a pencil, and that's what I use. I use predominantly the Anastasia Brow Wiz, and I love this eyebrow pencil. One of the reasons I like it is because it's such a fine tip pen, and you guys have seen this pencil. You guys have seen this in a lot of my favorites. You've seen me use it many times. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about this pencil. Some of the other ones that are good is e.l.f., and this one's a cheaper one. e.l.f. has one. It's very much the same fine tip as the Anastasia. It has a spoolie on the other end, and I will say I will not use an eyebrow pencil without a spoolie on the other end because it's so annoying, and you'll see when I start filling it in, you'll see why. And I'll show you some of the other products I use as I use them to do my eyebrows. So first what you want to do is assess. Now I have a mirror right here. So I'm looking at my eyebrows and I assess them and see, okay, I'm very thin here and obviously here, and I've got some bare spots here and here, and I want to bring my eyebrows in a little bit because they're really set apart. What I want to do first is to just fill in a little bit. Where do they look different from the other one? And one thing about your eyebrows is you want them to look like sisters, but they don't necessarily have to be twins. And I will admit there are some times after I've done my eyebrows, they literally are distant cousins. Okay, clearly I was drinking when I did my eyebrows because they look hideous. So your goal is to look like your eyebrows belong together as sisters. So look at them and see how are they different from each other. So brush them both up And then what you want to do is to just fill in a tiny bit of the empty space within where the hair already exists. Don't go outside of the hairline, only in where it exists. So I'll show you how that looks. First, let me say is brush your eyebrow hairs down. That is one of the things that will help you to do the top of your eyebrow. So brush them down, then start filling in. Go ahead and brush them up. Okay, that's really all you're gonna do the first time. You're only gonna fill in extremely light. If you went ahead and did the entire thing like all the way filled in, you're gonna be so shocked by it and you're gonna hate it because you're not used to seeing your eyebrows filled in. And so you're gonna be like, oh no, don't do that. And how many of you have had like your daughter or a friend do them for you and you walked away going, okay, this will not happen again. That happened to me as well. So do it extremely light. This is all I would do in the beginning. This is not a full eyebrow. I only filled in a little bit, and you can see how already this is much more lifted than this one. Even if I brush my hairs up, this one looks so much higher because I filled in above. There is hair there. It's just that that hair is so fine, and some of it is light, some of it is blonde. So I'm just filling in where hair already existed, not adding hair in. Let me do more, and I'm not going to touch this one so you guys can see the difference between the two. One of the things I want to show you guys is the Stila Stay All Day Brow Color, and it looks like this. It's just a very small, fine tip. It looks like it's a felt tip pen. I use this when I need to make something look like an actual hair. But you'll know where your bald spots area, where your bald spots are. This area right here, I have a little bit, and I'm just gonna very fine. I'm also going to brush my hairs down a little bit and do the top as well. If you do it a little bit too hard, like I did a little bit too hard, but not horrible, I'm not at all panicked about that because I'm going to be putting eyebrow pencil in that area. Brush them back up again, and I'm going to get this end area right here. Okay. That's it. That's just to make some more hair-like looking eyebrow hairs. Did that make sense? So brush up my eyebrows again, and they're starting to look a little bit more full at this point. This is the second time you're doing this, or you've worn your eyebrows filled in a little bit like I showed you before. Wear that for a week or two, and then start filling in just a little bit more. If you're not at all happy, if you're happy with that, just do that. So I'm going to fill in a little bit more now to get a bit more fuller brow. Anytime an area looks a little bit heavy, like you went a little heavy-handed or anything, you use your spoolie to go ahead and remove it. If you're totally like hating it, go ahead and just remove everything you did and start over. I highly recommend doing this when you have no place to go for a while, the first time, because you know, it takes a while to figure this out. It took me practice in order to be able to get this done in 5 minutes. And it really is 5 minutes long. Sometimes it's 2. Sometimes I only fill them in a tiny, tiny bit because I literally have 5 minutes to do my entire face. It's amazing when you look at the difference between the two of them, how one looks so much higher than the other. And honestly, I did not try to raise them at all. It literally is just filling in where my eyebrows are. One of the things you can do is use your brow powder in order to fill in and make it look a little bit more filled in if you need to. Now, I don't think I need to on this one, but it comes with this little tiny, tiny little brush. And I literally use this and I just dab it in and I always hit off the extra. And I would just take it, and it's hard to do this with showing you guys at the same time, and just kind of go in the areas that I need it. I really honestly didn't even do anything. One of the other challenges with doing eyebrow hair is that your eyebrow hair can have a mind of its own and go all different directions, and you think you've brushed them all and they look all nice, and then you look at yourself and your eyebrows are like going down and around, and you never know what happens. So you want to try to keep them going the same direction. There's many ways to do this, and one of those I really like is, it's called the Maybelline Brow Drama. You guys have heard me say this in my favorites, and I just take this and brush it through to get it just a little bit and darken up my eyebrow hairs. This is really good if you guys have some gray hair. I don't want to pluck the gray hairs because we don't want to get rid of actual hairs where I want them to be, even if they happen to be gray. So I will color in those so I don't lose any of those hairs. So another way of doing this is hairspray. Before gels and everything for eyebrows existed, I used hairspray. So I really like the Aussie Instant Freeze. I would never use this on my hair unless I'm doing it for a costume or something. But basically all you do is you take a spoolie and you spray it, and then you just use the spoolie, and basically you're putting, well, you're putting hairspray on your eyebrows in a safer way than spraying it on your eye. So this is an extremely cheap way. This thing has lasted me forever. So I went ahead and put some mascara on. As you can see, my left eye, or you guys, if you're looking at me, it's my right. It is my left eye. My left eye is much bigger and much more full and much more defined. My right eye looks tired. Now, I do not have any concealer on or nothing else except a little bit of foundation. But it just amazes me the difference between filling in your eyebrow hair and putting mascara on. How much more awake and younger you look. Do a little bit at a time and you will be just shocked at the difference in how your eyes look and how much more awake you look. I hope I've answered all your questions. If you have any, please do not hesitate to comment below. If you have other products that you absolutely love, please comment below and let us all know what works really well for you. I will see you in next week's video. God bless.